Em uma audiência tensa, uma jovem de 19 anos enfrenta acusações de roubo em uma loja. Ela foi flagrada furtando itens em diversas sessões, totalizando apenas $13,92. Agora, ela tem a chance de se defender enquanto o juiz impõe condições severas para sua liberdade.
Who's here on the walkthrough? You said a lawyer was here?
JL. They're coming back.
Okay. So Maria de la Cruz, good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, you were charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On September 8th, 2024, an officer was dispatched to a target in Texas regarding a theft. Upon arrival, the officer met with the complainant, the loss prevention manager, who advised the defendant had stolen from the business. The complainant advised that the defendant had entered the business with no merchandise and with a small pink fanny pack on her person. The defendant was then observed going to the style department and began making selections at the merchandise and then began going into the business fitting room. The defendant exited the fitting room and the style merchandise was not seen, and the defendant dumped the merchandise on the rack in the fitting room. The defendant was then observed going to the jewelry department, and the complainant advised the defendant was observed quickly selecting Kendra Scott jewelry, and the defendant went to the beauty department and was advised that she began selecting Kendra Scott jewelry and hair care department merchandise. And the defendant then went to the home department and then the chemical aisle and began concealing merchandise into the small pink fanny pack and began walking towards the front of the store. The defendant passed all points of sale without rendering payment for the items, and the total amount taken was was $103.92.
And where did you say this is from?
At Target.
Got it. Okay. Ms. De La Cruz, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. How old are you, ma'am?
19.
What do you do for a living?
I go to school,
Where do you go to school?
Pima Medical Institute.
Okay. Are you working as well?
Not currently.
Who do you live with?
My parents.
Are they here today with you? Okay. Like I said, I'm going to find probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to go to any Target stores whatsoever. You were given a free bond, so we let you out of jail. And that's how you're here before me. You're not going to get another one. If you pick up a new case, if you go to any Target or do something you're not supposed to, I will revoke the bond, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, and it's going to go way higher than it is now. Do you understand? Did you want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, ma'am? Okay, we will give you an application. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions up, okay? First, we're going to have you sign a reset, and then we need to give you an application for an appointed lawyer. I need to know everything about you, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Please. Good morning, Mr. Javed.
Good morning.
Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat or a family or a household member. That allegation kicks it up to a Class A misdemeanor, so you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 8th, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was dispatched to meet with a firefighter at 3515, a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officer met with the complainant, who stated she got into an argument with her husband, the defendant. The complainant stated the defendant had been threatening to kill the complainant's family in Pakistan and to kill her in the past. In 2023, she called the police, but no report was made because she was afraid of retaliation. The complainant stated they have talked about who the defendant knows in Pakistan and believed the defendant could do something to her family to have them killed. The complainant stated the defendant made these threats to her and her family to control her. When the complainant called for police on October 8th, the defendant told the complainant if she called the police, the complainant knew the consequences, while making a circle in his hands, gesturing as if to strangle the complainant.
So there's also felony retaliation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this within what you just said now, or is it something else that happened? Because I know it arises out of the same, but was there any more overt action that was done other than spoken word?
Sorry, Your Honor. Let me check the DIMS.
Okay. Mr. Javed, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen?
Yes, yes, sir.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this complaining witness. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm entering in, or it looks like a protective order has already been issued on the 9th of this month. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate this protective order, the state can and will file additional charges as violation of protective order. And I'm telling you, that's one of the worst cases you can pick up. You violate conditions on a no contact order, I can hold you at 0 bond, and I will do it in a second to protect every person of Harris County. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
When I mean no contact, I mean no contact of any kind. Phone calls, text messages, social media, use of another person to relay any information. I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you violate these conditions, I will revoke your bond. I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. And I'm telling you now, I'm going to make it high. So no contact of any kind.
Your Honor, appears to be just the verbal threats.
Okay. So can you file no contact and no weapons, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
For now, I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign the bond conditions, and then we'll have you wait for your lawyer. Okay? Please. Good morning, Ms. Perkins. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. So you are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On October 9th, 2024, officers were dispatched to 5299 West Park Drive in Harris County, Texas, regarding a major crash. The will witness stated he saw the defendant get out of the driver's seat of her motor vehicle, and Houston Fire Department advised the defendant admitted to drinking. The officers observed the defendant with slurred speech and glassy eyes. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN was 6 out of 6, walk and turn was 3 out of 8, and one leg stand was 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.153 and 0.157.
Tell me about the driving facts again, please.
There was a major crash, Your Honor.
Okay, so she's at a crash.
A crash, and then the real witness who was involved in the crash saw the defendant get out of the driver's side.
Got it. Okay. Ms. Perkins, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, ma'am? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? Can you run her license, please?
Yes,
And
sir.
also, does she have any prior DWIs, please? If you can
No
run
party
her
to be
license.
and license eligible.
Okay, ma'am, I'm going to find, like I said, there's probable cause to go forward. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. I'm going to revoke your bond. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? How old are you, ma'am? You're 20. What do you do for a living? Where do you work? Mom shells. Who do you live with? No, with mom, dad, or by yourself? Okay. Can you afford a lawyer? How much money do you make a month? Okay. Is that all you're doing now, or are you doing anything else in school or anything? Okay, I'll have you. Let me see if I have enough. You to fill out an application for me for an appointed lawyer, and I'll take a look at it. If you qualify, I'll provide you with a lawyer today. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while you fill out the application, then I'll take a look at it. Okay? You will need to meet with the pre-trial for your bond conditions, so don't leave until you do that. Okay? Please.
I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it.
How do we pronounce your name, ma'am? Kubon. Ma'am, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Okay?
Yes, Judge. On September 18, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a Walmart in reference to a theft in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the loss prevention manager, who stated he followed the defendant in pink nurse scrubs within the business as she was pushing a shopping cart and concealing in a black backpack several items she took from the shelves of the business. The defendant observed the defendant pay for the items in the cart at the self-checkout, pass all points of sale, and exit without paying for the items she had loaded in the backpack. The complainant stopped the defendant outside the exit doors and confronted her about the concealed items. The defendant initially denied everything, but ultimately gave her the backpack, to which the defendant found unpaid items with a value of $118.53. Another unpaid item of a value of $1.38 was found wrapped in a Walmart plastic bag in the shopping cart. The total amount taken was $119.91.
Okay. All right, ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen? You are? Okay, I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to go back to any Walmart. If we find that you go back to Walmart, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? Okay. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to come to court until he tells you that your presence is needed. But you must stay in contact with Corey. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging phone calls, that's it. We will revoke your bond, okay? Any questions? Yeah, I know. I have to apprise you.
I understand, yeah.
Do you have any questions? Okay, we're gonna have you sign a reset. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. When you get your bond condition, we'll have you sign it, and then you're free to go, okay?
Thank you,
Okay,
Judge.
guys. Thanks, Corey.
Appreciate it.
No going to walls.
I have a plea.
On Reyes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm ready when you are. We're done with the Raymonds? Okay. Jose Vicente Reyes, do you need a translator?
No, sir. And it is I know it says 3 days Harris County Jail. I spoke with the state. It is a time served.
Good morning, Mr. Reyes. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 1 day that you've done. You need to understand, sir, that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. And this is important because you ever get pulled over and an officer's going to see this. If they smell alcohol or dope, what do you think they're going to do? What we're doing today, the proverbial slap on the wrist, now you'll be facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. So be careful because this time served, you understand. I mean, it's a minimum of 90 from now on. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine the accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this. It will go on your record. It'll be there forever. Is this what you want to do?
Sir.
How do you plead to the offense, sir? Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty and I will sentence you to 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 1 day that you've done. I have to suspend your license, so I will suspend it for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license, and good luck to you, sir.
Judge, I asked that his license not be suspended. It's been suspended for over 220 days already.
I have to suspend it, right? If you want credit for the ALR suspension,
Yes, sir.
why has it been suspended for so long?
I am not very sure. He just spoke. I'm filling in for Attorney Clay today, Eric Clay. So I just spoke to the client about the suspension.
Part of my PR bond was not to drive, and you revoked my privilege to drive. So I've been.
Well, there's a reason. Usually, if you don't have a license, you don't have insurance.
Over a 0.15.
No, I never take someone's, has to have been an aggravating factor as to why. I don't just willy-nilly take someone's ability to drive away because I take it really seriously. You know, if you're driving in a manner like going over 100 or a prior DWI or with an open container or something like that. What happened in this case, Alex?
So in this case, officers were dispatched to a crash in Harris County, Texas, and they arrived and observed the vehicle with front end damage that had hit an apartment complex entrance gate and wall
I
building.
have a license.
I had a license, valid license and valid liability.
See.
Part of my bond was, just suspended my license, I couldn't drive.
Oh, you know what it was? You had an ALR suspension. That's why. Your license was suspended. Have you paid any kind of reinstatement fees? Then your license is suspended now. Whenever you get a DWI, you have two cases against you. You have this case, you also have an administrative case versus DPS. And if you don't take care of the administrative case, DPS suspends your license and it remains in suspension until you go and actively take care of it to have it reinstated. One of those things that you have to do is pay a reinstatement fee of around $125. So until you do that, it remains effectively suspended indefinitely until you take care of it. What we do is we bring you back in to apprise you of the fact that your license does become suspended and that if you drive, you're in violation of these bond conditions. So I'm trying to help you, believe it or not. I'm not. So do this. Go get your license reinstated, go to DPS, show me that you've got it reinstated, then we can run so that I'll give you credit for the time that you've had your ALR suspension. I'd rather have you driving legally than, driving illegally, right? So go get it reinstated because what we need are the dates of suspension for the ALR. If you have that, we can give it to them and give you the credit.
Yes, sir.
But don't just start driving now. Your license is still suspended. Alex, can you run it? You mind?
Yes, Your Honor, it's not eligible, and the most recent we have is the ALR suspension.
See? It's the administrative license revocation suspension that you get from DPS. You got to go call DPS and they'll tell you what to do to get it reinstated. All right?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, guys,
Maybe excuse. Thank you.
please. Hey, Mr. Macedo, you're charged with failure to identify oneself, giving false or fictitious information. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
All right, may I just get a cause number for that real quick?
It's 2533067.
On October 8th, 2024, the officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle failed to stop at a stop sign. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant stated he did not have a driver's license, ID, or passport. The defendant wrote Jesus Gutierrez, date of birth October 2nd, 1977, on a notepad provided by the officer. There was no TCIC return for the name. The officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle to have a different VIN from that on TCIC, and the defendant consented to a search of the motor vehicle. The officer found a Venezuelan passport with the defendant's photograph and the name Jairo Jose Macedo Barcenas, date of birth January 11, 1976. The defendant stated he lied about the name to the officer and used a fake name because he was afraid and had never been stopped by officers while in the country.
Mr. Macedo Barcenas.
Your Honor, he has to go to the civil front.
Yeah, go. Thanks, Luis.
Hola, buenos días. Me llamo Luis Lentar. Disculpe la interrupción. Mi colega se tiene que ir a un juicio. Acérquese aquí, por favor. Sobre el juez y conteste nada más en español.
Macedo Barcenas, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Are you a United States citizen?
What?
Are you a United States citizen?
¿Estadounidense?
No.
No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
¿Es con permiso o sin permiso? Without permission.
I'm going to give you a warning now that if you go to jail and immigration finds you, they will put an immigration detainer on you. You will remain in custody until this case is over with, and then you will be shipped off to immigration and you will sit in immigration custody until they do whatever they're going to do to you. That usually is a process that'll take about 6 to 9 months. If you do not want that to happen, do not violate any of the conditions that I put on you now. Because if you do, you could be spending a lot of time in custody. You do not have a Texas driver license, so you are not allowed to drive. I am making that a condition of your bond. The other condition I'm putting now is not to get in trouble or violate any laws. You were I don't know if you went to jail, but from now on, you will not be given any more PR bonds. So your bonds will be sufficiently high that you're going to spend some time there. And if you're unlucky enough, immigration will put a detainer on you. You will get no further warnings. Do you understand?
Sí, señor. Tiene que hablar, sí, señor, o no, señor. Yes, sir.
No driving whatsoever.
Manejo para nada, no puede manejar.
Okay. We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. First, I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. After that, I will get you to Victoria, where we will have you sign a reset, and we're going to get you out of here. These are the only conditions I'm putting on you now. Don't drive and don't get in trouble. When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir.
Good morning.
Hey.
I'm approaching on Javed, Javed. He's on docket for an arraignment today. I believe he's already come up, but he hired us, and so I wanted to talk about his bond conditions.
Okay.
The complaining witness is his wife, and they're working on their marriage. She's already reached out to me. She
I don't
said she
know,
wants to
man.
contact, she even signed an affidavit of non-prosecution. I think no threatening and harassing would be suitable here, considering.
I don't know. I really, I mean, sounding from the facts of the case, you know,
She was saying she didn't even want to press charges. She was saying that she didn't feel threatened, that this didn't happen this exact time, as it said.
I got the complete opposite from what I heard on the, I mean, it sounded like he's terrorizing her, terrorizing the family overseas.
Right, that's just a statement, though. I mean, the complaining witness can speak for herself and
Okay.
say.
Yeah, I'll hear from her if she's here, but I don't think I'm prepared to let him talk to her at this point.
Yeah, Judge, so this case is with DVD. They have not been able to make contact with her yet.
I'm not-
Yeah.
They've not been able to even make contact with her DVD.
Okay, can we try her today?
Well,
Because I spoke with her just yesterday. She already sent me over an affidavit of non-prosecution. She's reached out to me, so I think she'll be willing to talk to the state today.
I mean,
Judge, we're not DVD prosecutors here, and our DVD prosecutor is in trial right now. He'll give her a call as soon as possible, but the state does not feel comfortable just doing no threatening or harassing when we haven't made.
I understand that. I never, if and until I hear from the complaining witness, because I don't know what her wishes are. I know that she's giving you this stuff, but I don't know how it happened. Was it at some kind of undue pressure? I don't know. So out of an abundance of caution now, he's not to have any contact with her for the foreseeable future until I know.
Okay,
But it's not forever, but for now, you know,
okay. And the DVD prosecutor is the only one that can reach out to her?
their case.
They need to be present, yes.
Okay, we don't have any other ones this time?
I mean, we would need to call someone else in, but no, the person that's assigned to this court for DVD is in trial right now.
So is it
There may
possible
be
for us
other
to call someone else?
prosecutors,
in?
but I don't know.
Okay, is it possible? for us to
We
get-
can talk about it over there. Thank you, Judge.
E aí, gostou do vídeo? Inscreva-se para mais vídeos sobre a justiça americana e brasileira. Louvado seja o Senhor!